inside the Niger Delta.
Glad to have you back on the program. If you're just joining us, it's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. The rift between the presidency and the National Assembly over the appointment of an interim management to oversee the affairs of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, may be far from over. Only recently, the Senate barred the Dr. Joy Nunye-led interim management from defending the agency's 2020 budget, as the lawmakers insisted on dealing with members of the NDDC governing board whose appointments have been confirmed. In this report, correspondent Ekene Amofuri takes a look at the likely impacts of the current face-off on the operations of the NDDC and how the Niger Delta will fare in the 2020 financial year.
The upper chamber of the National Assembly for the second time publicly demonstrated its disapproval of appointments into the NDDC when recently it barred the Dr. Joy Nunye-led interim management from defending the Commission's 2020 budget. Senate President Ahmed Lawan insisted that the law recognizes the substantive board nominated by the President and confirmed recently by the lawmakers as the rightful body to defend the Commission's budget.
That we have confirmed the request of Mr. President on the board membership of the NDDC. And we have communicated that the next logical thing to do by law is for the appointments of the members of the board to take immediate effect. I believe that the executive arm of government will attend to that quickly so that we have the right people to come and defend the appropriation request of Mr. President. Thank you.
Mr. President, I fear that we may run into a problem of delayed budget again, since nobody will come to defend this budget. Because this august body, having confirmed the board of NDDC, will not countenance any illegal contraption coming in front of us to say that they are representing NDDC.
The rift between the presidency and the Senate has drawn the attention of several groups in the Niger Delta. While some groups are in support of the recent appointment of an interim management to supervise the proposed forensic audit of the NDDC, others have thrown their weight behind the senators who insist on having the substantive board take over the affairs of the NDDC without any further delay.
The Senate has given us an expeditious screening and confirmation to the board. I do not see any reason why to date the board has not been inaugurated. Who is more qualified to handle a forensic audit than the current substantive MD of the board, Bernardo Kumagba, a well-known financial expert, a man who has served as a commissioner for finance in Delta State, a man who has seen it all in terms of finances. You can't continue to run a board of that nature with interim management committee. So we frown at it and we condemn it.
The people of Niger Delta has expressed love for the Joy Nunye-led board of NDDC. The Senate will refuse to allow her defend a budget that was sent by Mr. President to the Senate. No. To us, it's unacceptable. Very, very unacceptable, and we will not want it. We will follow it up to all logical conclusion. We are ready to even take to the streets of Abuja to call for the Senate to reverse the decision and do the right thing.
The politics of appointment in the NDDC gives most Niger Deltans cause for worry. They fear that the prevailing scenario will most likely grind NDDC activities to a halt in the next financial year if nothing is done as a matter of urgency to get the feuding parties arrive at a compromise.
The Isoko nation, we are not in support of the continuous use of internal management committee. We are therefore calling on the president to, as a matter of fact, urgency, inaugurate the current board, the substantive board, so that they can actually, bring development to our people.
There seems to be clearly a whole lot of confusion as regards the NDDC. And I do not see how this confusion can come to an end without the presidency putting his feet on the ground to say, this is what we want.
Mr. President should not allow this drive if actually his intention, is for the betterment and well-being of the people of the Niger Delta. Because, of course, when two elephants fight, it is the grass that will suffer. We've suffered a lot, and we need a board of NDDC headed by technocrats like we have now to govern and to bring the dividends of that commission to us.
At the receiving end of the current administrative logjam in the NDDC are the largely impoverished communities that the commission was established to transform. The onus is on the fielding arms of government to sheath their swords and arrive at a compromise on the way forward for the NDDC and, by extension, the Niger Delta region.
Inside the Niger Delta.